Hey, what's up, ecosystem? Tonight is a special show. As I enter the 4th year of production on Auto Transport Intel, we're going to take a look back from where we came from, where we're headed next, what we're doing, and why we're doing it. My guests tonight are Ryan Gerardi of AutoConversion and Tai Thompson of CTS Business Coaching. There's a lot to talk about, and I hope you'll join us. And if you're feeling the disruption, tonight's show will be a great show to watch. Join the live chat, reflect upon your automotive business journey. So please buckle in. It's Tuesday nights live on Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, your host. Welcome back to the show. Hey, welcome back again to Auto Transport Intel. I am Jay, your host. I welcome you back to the show. Please let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. I want to make sure that the audio's alright, that the video's alright. Actually, I'm going to turn up the audio just a hair. I don't want to blow you out of the chair, but yeah, sometimes the audio is a little low, and I want to make sure it's not too low. Okay, check, mic. All right, good. Looks and sounds great. Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much for you guys joining me. Hey, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Listen, this is your first time here. I want you to feel welcome. This is Auto Transport Intel. It's an ecosystem. It's a community. And I want you to feel like you can join us and say hello. Let us know where you're at, because we're going to go into the live chat here in a few moments. And I'm going to say hello. I'm going to go person by person into it. So please do say hello. Let us know what's going on. And if you've got a company, product, or service that you want to promote, feel free to do that. This is a great place to do that. At the quarter hour, we go into industry news. Industry news is national news, social media news, good news, bad news, flip of the week, memes, all that stuff. So if you got something you want me to share in industry news, send it to me, autotransportintel@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to include it in the news. We're going to go into an ATI information superhighway. It's kind of a recap of the last 3 years. It'll be quick, but it's going to bring us up to speed of where we are now and kind of what we're looking at doing next. So that's going to be great. And, of course, the premier auto conversion interview tonight is with Ryan Gerardi. What is auto conversion? We're going to be talking about that because we are collaborating with auto conversion. We're going to tell you more about it and why. So we're excited to tell you about that. And after we have an interview with Ryan, we're going to bring in Tai of CTS Business Coaching. He is part of the program, of course. And so we're going to interview Tai in the panel, find out more of what CTS is up to. We have some CTS news, actually. So you're going to want to be a part of that. And then, it wouldn't be a panel without another member to round out the 4-person discussion. We're going to bring in Lance on the phone. What does Lance have to talk about? We're going to find out. So if you stick around, or if you do whatever you got to do, that's in 90 minutes from now. So that's the show. Another 2-hour show coming at you. It's Automotive Late Night. It's Auto Transport Intel. And we really want to hear from you and see if we can help. That's actually a big mission of what we're talking about is that the depth of disruption, it's hard to actually to put your hands around the edges. I mean, we're hearing about Hertz. What are we talking about? What's going on with Hertz? Oh my gosh, we're going to talk about that soon after Hello Live Chat. I hope you'll stick around, and we'll talk soon.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verification of loads when nobody answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years of experience in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021. Or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
Okay, that's a word from Sue at Murphy Auto Transport. We really appreciate Murphy Auto Transport on this show. Friend of the show, longtime friend of the show, advisor as well, and co-host of Dispatching Live. If you have a dispatching question or a broker question, she also has a broker's license. She knows what she's talking about. Contact Sue at Murphy Auto Transport. Got the phone number and the email address and the website in the live chat. Okay, so let's go into the live chat. Let's say hello. Hey, Tai is here. Is this where you find cars on the move? Oh, I don't know. What is cars on the move, Tai? Maybe you'll tell us more about it. Maybe we'll find out tonight. Kenneth Ha made it with 3 minutes to spare. Cool, Kenneth. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining the live chat. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. Carlos Braxton, ACB Logistics. What's up, Carlos? Thanks for tuning in. Absolutely great to see you in here every Tuesday night. And AutoConverse. Hello, ATI crew. AutoConverse is in the live chat. So if you got a question for AutoConverse, he's going to be in the live chat all night. We're going to have Ryan on the show here in a bit. Auto Transport Intel. Kimberly's in the live chat. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you for monitoring the live chat. Really do appreciate it. And helping me make sure that the show... Listen, seriously, if anything happens to the show tonight, let me know. Text me, email me, because OBS crashed like right before I went live. And, you know, what are you going to do? What can you do? I don't know. You do the best you can. It's COVID-19 times, and we're live. We're live together. We're actually alive. No, I'm not wearing a mask because I don't need to. I'm in a room alone. Seriously, I actually don't understand why, like news reporters that are clearly standing by themselves, why they're wearing a mask while they're reporting. I actually don't know. I don't know. Hey, Gary's Auto Logistics. What's up, Gary's Auto Logistics? Thanks for tuning in, saying hello. I appreciate it. Michael Culler is with us. I'm here now, so y'all are safe. That's right. Michael with the mask. CSS Transport Castro. What's up, everyone? What's up, CSS? Thanks for tuning in and saying hello. I appreciate it. Top Trending is with us. What's up, Jay? What's up, Top Trending? What's going on with you guys? Are you hauling? Are you busy? Are you getting back to business? Are you just still working on the safety checks? You still putting up the plexiglass? You know, what's the status? Gary says, all okay, great. Okay, great. Look and sound great. Awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I'll tell you what, nothing bugs me more than technical difficulties. Drives me crazy. You'd think by episode 139 I'd have it all figured out. But you know what? That's why I enjoy watching other webinars and technical problems. It's, you know, it's rampant when you go live. Hear you, check. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Nick Medore, yup. Okay, thanks, Nick. I appreciate it. Bill Bad Apples. Hey, Jay. Hey, Ty. Hello, car peoples. Just checking in. Won't be here long. 4 a.m. comes real early. Why 4 a.m., Bill? Do tell. Carlos Braxton, Ty, the man, the myth, the auction legend. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that stuff. Awesome. Thank you, Carlos. That's cool. Kenneth says 5 by 5. Charles Method is with us. What's up? Tuesday nights live, rock and roll. I was talking to somebody about how long the show is. They're like, why? You know, why would you have a 2-hour show? Why would you do that? And the thing is that it is an ecosystem. It is a community. I could easily make a 10, I don't know if I could easily make a 10-minute show, but I can make a shorter show. Dispatching live is supposed to not be over 1 hour, and we go in 90 minutes, you know, and the thing is, when the community's flowing, right, you got to go with it. That's what it's all about. It's hard to make a short live stream, although State of Car Hauling seems to be pretty short. We're going to pivot. Got a watch party going? Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. And you got it on the big screen. That's right. And I know your kids love the theme song, so that's awesome. Who's more dedicated than me? I don't know, man. Michael, I really don't know if anybody's more dedicated than you at the moment. So thank you for your dedication. I appreciate that. I'll give you a siren. Charles Method, the sound is good. Danny B is here. What's up, Danny B? Say hello to everybody. Well, hello, Danny B. And what's going on with you? Let us know. Where are you? Are you back to business? Are you watching Hertz from underneath the desk? Stock in Manheim, Chicago this new hours. Gary's Auto Logistics Central Dispatch all to all went up to 40,000. That is awesome. Fantastic. Thank you for that update. That's the kind of stuff I really do appreciate that. I need that. I need those updates. Joseph says, is everyone okay? It's a beautiful country, getting back to building this economy up. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that in industry news too. Gary, that's a great number. That is a great number, man, and I really do appreciate it. Sue says hello. Hey, everyone. Let's see here. Oh, my live chat just jumped. Hey, everyone. How's it going tonight? What's up, Sue? Thank you so much for tuning in, being a part of the show. She's here. If you got a question for her, live chat. And again, I'm telling you, don't be shy. Live chat, promote your company, find out what's up. And in fact, when people ask me questions through email, I'm like, go to the live chat. Be there on Tuesday night. Ask questions. So every week I still get, I just got one. My son's getting into car hauling. We're building a car hauling business. Not bad, better than the birthday cake. FNS Trucking, AJ, what's up? What's up, FNS? Seriously, I mean, I still get nervous. It's episode 139. I still get nervous right before the show. I'm like, is it going to work? Is it going to, or is this going to happen? Are we going to do this thing? It's crazy. Sure, I'm alive too. Really? Francisco's LLC. Hello, Miss Sue. What's up, Francisco's? Thanks for tuning in. That's awesome. Seems all too close to Wuhan. Let's see here. Oh, you saw the dispatch show? Man, that was a great show. Me and Sue had a great dispatching live. That was episode 6. We've already done 6 dispatching lives. Really excited. I mean, I'm this close to doing it every week, but right now we're just doing it every other week. It's every other Thursday at noon. We're taking this week off. Nick Medore, I hope all is well. That's right. Kenneth Hott, fear-mongering, plain and simple. Right? It's hard to know. It is so hard to know what is going on. Gloves, mask, no gloves, just a mask. You see it all. You're busy. That's good, man. Good for you, dude. That's awesome. It is springtime. We should be busy, right? But obviously we know why we wouldn't be totally busy. Making first trip and sitting at home for 4 to 5 weeks. That's awesome. Awesome. Where are you headed? How's the money? And what's expected, right? What do people expect? Wild Bill is on the move. Thanks, Joseph. Worked out awesome. DNW Logistics LLC is here. What's up? Really enjoy Tuesday Night Live. Thank you, DNW. That means a lot. That's great. That's great. I do appreciate it. Watching from North Carolina and business is good. That's awesome. And Ty's got a super chat with some sushi. I'm telling you, man, I love sushi. But I don't think we can get sushi right now, so just have to save it. Right? I don't think the sushi restaurants are open. That's unfortunate. And you know what? Sushi to go, it just isn't the same. I want to sit there. I want to eat it. I want to go to the trade show. Solo Dispatching is here. Hey guys, Dispatcher Ali here. Live dispatch session. Cool. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate that. Ron at Traffic Inc. is here. I'm here. Who brought the popcorn? You brought it, Ron. What's up? Where is Market Superflow? I don't know. Where is Market Superflow? He should be here. He's running late. You know that Mark has a like some kind of heavy duty strap Ask him about his heavy-duty strap. I can't remember what it's called. Ask Mark about his heavy-duty strap. Yeah, where is Mark? And Candy, that's right, where's Candy? Sue doing great, getting everything ready. Sue's got a t-shirt. Ask her about her t-shirt. Yeah, y'all, we're talking about my town in the last one. That's right, we were. We were talking about Farmington, New Mexico. Shout out to Farmington. Danny B is ready. Disagree, I'm fine with sushi to go. You know, it just isn't the same. Because hot sake at home, you can do hot sake at home. Just save money. But it's just not the same. I don't know. I want to sit there. Am I right, Kimberly? Had some the other day. Awesome, man. Awesome. Actually, I ate in a real restaurant on Monday. It was awesome except for the masks. Right? Oh, man. Yeah, somebody was saying that. They went to a nice restaurant and, like, there were no condiments on the table. The whole staff is wearing masks. It was, what? Single-serving plastic. Just not the same, right? Hey, Ron, I can't see my posts. Me either, Danny B. Loads are great right now, yeah. Did you cut out the mouth on your mask? Asks Kenneth. Great news. Michael, tuning in. All right, cool. Hey, we're at 8:15. Perfect. Thank you, hello, live chat. Thank you, Ty, for that super chat. Means a lot. I'm really looking forward to having some sushi in the restaurant. You're right, it ain't the same. Sake is better at the restaurant. It really is. Hot or cold, though. I kind of like the hot sake. But if I'm not worried about what I'm spending, I definitely want some cold. Okay, you guys, let's go into industry news. We're going to be right back. Stick around. Industry news is next.
Superflow Systems is excited to introduce DispatchCenter.com, a full-service load board for brokers, shippers, carriers, and drivers, featuring integrations with Truckify mobile app and iTruckPay. Use Route Scout technology to build your routes. Maximize truck capacity. Stay loaded at the highest available revenue with the least amount of driving miles. Tell us your lanes. Loadification will alert you to new loads posting in your route. Views instant load notifications sent with Book Now features. Search and book loads directly through the Truckify mobile app. Brokers and shippers, post your loads to Dispatch Center. Give authorized carriers the opportunity to instantly book your loads. Dispatch Center powers the Truckify mobile app, allowing instant load assignment to the driver. Truckify will send inspection reports, geo-located pickup and delivery photos, BOLs, and invoices back to the broker. Brokers, shippers, carriers, and drivers, Dispatch Center, and Truckify have what you need to be more profitable every day.
Shout out to Superflow Systems, Dispatch Center, and Truckify. Mark at Superflow Systems is a great guy. He's a friend of the show. And if you have a question, contact Mark at Superflow Systems. Ask him a car hauling software question, and I promise he will have an answer for you. End-to-end software solutions at Superflow. And, oh, by the way, you know what Ty would say right now? Ty would say, hey, Jay, did you say hello to Facebook? So here's what we're going to do. Checking in on the Facebook live chat takes a little more effort than the YouTube, because we're live on YouTube. I'm sitting here right in front of my monitor and I'm checking YouTube. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go check into. Let's go check this. Oh, see, it makes a little bit of noise. All right, we're gonna check the CTS and the ATI Facebook pages. They don't get near as much traffic. That's okay, because the show is here on YouTube. But if you are watching on Facebook, please do say hello. Please do share, comment, subscribe, like, shoot a flare, wear a mask, all that great stuff. Okay. Silver Mint is here. Hey, what's up, Silver Mint? Thank you for tuning in. Look, see? Solo dispatching. There we go. I told you, if you've got a company product or service, you can share it on Auto Transport Intel. This is the Car Shipping Business Channel, and it is time for industry news. Let's go into some industry news. Let's see here. You know I like to kick off with the start a watch party slide. Start a Facebook watch party. Watch YouTube on the big screen. Go for it. You can do that. This is episode 139, the Auto Transport Intel and Auto Conversion episode. So what is this all about, Jay? I'm going to tell you. But first we're going to do industry news. We are building up to it. There is more to tell you. There is some news. There's actual news. Hey, you're not wearing a mask? Well, I will if you'll pay for it. Ooh. Cat scratch fever. Hey, best way to get back on your feet is miss 2 car payments. Fred Sanford. Hey, let's see how all 50 states are doing in the reopening. You probably check on this yourself. We only have one state left. It's New Jersey. New Jersey is the last state to just stay shut down. Everybody else is in a partial reopening. Find that interesting that Nebraska is in the middle of the country with a regional reopening. Interesting. Find it interesting. Oh, thank goodness. That WW just keeps on curving downward. That is good news. That's a national average on the Johns Hopkins University coronavirus tracker. Now, Georgia is an interesting bellwether right now. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of national news. I said I would, but we're going to move into the automotive stuff really soon. But I want to paint a picture because Georgia is taking an aggressive move to open up. And as we see here, maybe they went up a little bit, but they are still trending down. It's looking pretty good for Georgia. A month since Georgia took some of the earliest and most extensive steps to reopen, COVID-19 cases have largely flattened in the state. We're not seeing a reduction in transmission, but I don't see a spike in transmission. That is really good. Oh, really wondering what was going to happen. By the way, if you're a trucker, there's about a lot of stuff expected, right? To carry disinfectant, wash your hands, use rubber gloves, only use your feet in the bathroom, all that stuff. But is it getting paid for? Are you being taken care of? I do want to know. I actually want to know. Because it sounds to me like some of y'all are busy. So what is it like out there? Being in the elements. Are you being compensated? Are you having to do everything yourself? Are you catching flack? How's it going? I really do want to know. And I see some more people jumping in here. Focus Transit LLC. Hey, what's up, Focus? Thanks for tuning in and joining the live chat. Truckify is with us. Truckify car hauling app is in the house. Jay and Ty always. Thanks, Truckify, for tuning in. The Mogul. We just legalized recreational marijuana in Maine. Let's keep our fingers crossed things open up fast. Hey, there you go. Yeah, man. Thanks for sharing that, Mogul. Awesome. Thank you. Shout out. What's up? Speaking of testing, there's a webinar registration. We're going to do a show about COVID-19 testing. There is a webinar in 2 days. So I want you to if you want to get signed up with this webinar, go to impactemployee.com. Why? Why do we want to know? You know what? On the COVID front, we need to know what's going on. So that's the show next Tuesday night. They got the webinar in 2 days, and then next Tuesday night we're going to have Gina and Jay on. Go to impactemployee.com. Sign up for the webinar. Get a jump on the information. Is it working? Are the precautions? Are we in the right place with all these precautions? Again, are you wearing a mask? Are you wearing gloves? Are you just saying F it? Thanks for another 75% sale. You know what? Independent auctions, they're going for it. They're having people. And this is how you get your car shipping news. Have you told your friends? You did? Thank you. I appreciate that. So what about a COVID fee? Can you charge a COVID fee? Man, it's amazing how controversial the COVID fee is. I followed this. There were 160 comments on this post. This was on LinkedIn. Man, a lot of people are upset about paying a COVID fee. And it's interesting because, I don't know, man. Doesn't it seem reasonable? I don't know. Because you know what? Automotive production was already headed down. Listen, look at that. 2017, it spiked. It's been heading down since. And now this, disposing of wholesale inventory, an escalating problem. Interesting. Will that be good for car shipping? Wholesale price decline establishes a new record. This is the new low as of 1994 Car Global Analytics from the beginning of time. No surprise. right? But what about Hertz, man? Oh my gosh, Hertz. Dude, really? Hertz? Now, they're not saying it's completely over, but a bankruptcy isn't good. So why? Why is the parent of the Hertz Corp, let's see, Hertz Global posted a net loss of $356 million, negative $243 million the first quarter of 2020. Guess what? They had approximately $1 billion in cash on the balance sheet, but a total outstanding debt of around $17 billion. Wow, canceled 90% of its remaining model year 2020 fleet orders. That's not good because it's mostly OEM orders, but I guess if the OEMs are producing less, then that'll work out. 16,000 corporate and field employees of 12,000 furloughed. It's going to be permanent. Yikes. Do you haul rental cars? This is going to be important. Hertz derives 66% of its revenue from airport rentals. That's 2/3 of its business. Wow. And then Avis, also everybody's. Anything in rental is down. Now this is interesting. Now, personal vehicle travel dropped nearly 50% in April. Nobody's flying. Now look at this. Up to 50% of the rental car company's business relies on providing cars to customers whose vehicles are in the shop. The pandemic destroyed their earnings because nobody's crashing their cars, because nobody's driving and nobody's flying. I did not know that much of their business relied on people crashing their cars. No wonder people flip their cars every morning during rush hour. They're trying to help Hertz. Of course, then there was also the competition from ride-sharing companies. So, the collapse of demand for new vehicles bodes ill for car shipping as well. The vessel shipping dropped more than 20% worldwide for the year. It's probably more than that. Then there's a parts shortage. Oh my gosh. It really does feel like a major. That's why even if you don't believe in the mask and the gloves, you look globally at what's happening. Private transportation. And then the shift, but this is maybe the good news. A shift back to private transportation rather than all the ride sharing. It's interesting, right? Is it a good time to buy a car? Well, online dominates only until the purchase. Look at all this research. Research. And then they actually go to buy, and it's under 10%. Can that be fixed? So I was researching. Speaking of researching, up on Carvana. Look at this. If you pick a car and you pick up the car buying calculator, the shipping is free? Really? The shipping is free. Okay. Who's paying for it? At Autotrader.com, what is Autotrader doing? Let's see. Is delivery free? Depends on the dealer and the distance. Now, I like that answer. Of course, they have a different business model, but still. How about Vroom.com? They're charging, okay, on a 4Runner without even knowing the delivery, the pickup and the delivery addresses, $5.99 for shipping. See, I like that. How about at TrueCar.com? Let's see, what are they doing? Home delivery is available, but they don't give the price. Interesting. Maybe later in the transaction. I really didn't enter much information. And that's part of it too. How much information do online car buyers put in? Apparently there's a lot of fake information being put in. CarMax.com, no matter what you put in, they pretty much tell you can get a test drive at the store local to you. That's interesting. So what if you're a car carrier, right? Make sure that your website, there is a convergence between what you see car carriers, websites looking like, and online car sellers. There's a convergence happening here. How about this? Yeah. Offer a discount. Right on. Vroom is funny since they pay. Well, do they? It's interesting. It seems to be, what I've seen is it's load by load, region by region. It's hard to draw a generality. It is. It's per car, per region, per load. Ask Auto. This is interesting. I saw Ask Auto was on AutoConversion today. And because we keep finding about more digital dealer solutions that are out there. It's just like, car shippers, car carriers, car dealer solutions. Oh my gosh, you know what time it is? It's funny. It is time for a quick ELD punch break. We're going to be right back after the break. Oh yes, thank you Acertus so much for participating in the show. If you're a fleet management company and you are looking for a vehicle transport, storage, care and compliance, title and registration solution, Acertus is a large company servicing large companies, and you can go to Acertus Delivers. We've got information in the live chat, and if you got a question, you can send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Okay, we just took our halfway break. We're ready to go back into industry news. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. I do appreciate it. What is going on here? A witness says around noon, this is yesterday, a trailer full of cars broke off from a pickup truck on Route 309 at PA, sending the trailer over the guardrails. Cars were totaled. That means it's our flip of the week. Cars were being flipped into the trees, and that counts as a flip of the week. I guess the trailer just unhitched from the pickup truck. So, we're not celebrating flip of the week, but we do talk about it. There is always another lesson to be learned. Hopefully you don't learn the hard way. Now that would be a stuck of the week. So, dang. Man, so close, yet so far. Quick question. Driver swiped the trailer tail and damaged vehicle on dealer property. Does it go to the driver's record or an accident if the insurance claim is filed? And I believe the answer was that it goes to the dealer's insurance since it was on the dealer's property. But always a good debate on Facebook. Hey, do you like $60 cars? Scoop them up. That's what we talk about on Dispatching Live every other Thursday. Speaking of, on Dispatching Live, did you know that the dispatcher's coffee is always cold and their beer is always hot? So, it's great to be a dispatcher. Speaking of dispatchers and illegal brokers, in a frenzied fear the TIA attacks owner-operators, boy, there is a feud going on between the TIA and OIDA, because OIDA is pushing for Congress for full transparency in broker transactions. Stick around, because this is going to go the full 13 rounds. Here's another one that I saw on social media. Beware of blankety blank. They hired us to transport an old ambulance. The driver caused a small bumper damage, and we offered to buy a brand new bumper. Unfortunately, because of the damages upon pickup and delivery, we will not be able to make payment, says the customer. Your driver asked the auto auction to load the vehicle with a forklift. The driver did not inform us. Well, Mo Frere, that's the problem there, is that AHAA always uses a forklift at some point in the transport, so I don't know. I don't know if it was a small bumper damage or if they asked the auto auction. Ugh, that's why cheap loads blow. So let's get some feedback. See, this guy says, pay for what he effed up. Start an insurance claim. They're not allowed by law to not pay you for the transport because of damage. That's what your insurance is for. Everything at IAA is loaded and moved with a forklift. Send them this info along with a screenshot of them dispatching cars with no authority. Ouch! Facebook is harsh. Hey, Copart reported, let's see, their financials, like everybody else, a decrease in revenue. Not as bad as Hertz, though. IAA offers a new tool. Yeah, man. Everybody's ratcheting up the merchandising platform, combining imagery, information, personalization, more competitive bidding, higher proceeds for sellers at no cost to the buyer. Nice. Acertus Auto IMS partner to help remarketers move inventory faster. If you don't follow auto remarketing, visit autoremarketing.com. Shout out to Bill Zadites. In this article, they're talking about through this strategic partnership, we're able to expand our reach to help remarketers. It's a huge part of the auto shipping ecosystem. To move inventory faster, accelerating time to market, maximizing vehicle value through a powerful combination of reliable transport and technology innovations, enabling Auto IMS's consignor and auto auction members with impactful third-party connections. Have you been to Auto IMS? Find out more about Auto IMS. We're talking hundreds of auctions. I believe it's hundreds. Here's good news. Hogan is hiring a car hauler. I'm not sure how many, but there is your phone number. There's your rate. Give them a call. Check it out. See if you can get a job with Hogan. Look, I think we've got another one here. We've got... Let's see, wait. There was... Oh, yeah, Hanson and Adkins. Great car haulers want another phone number there. California company, big fleet. One of the top 5, I do believe. Apex Partners, this was just shared today. Car Auction Services, a global vehicle or marketing technology solutions provider. And the reason this is important is there is a lot, with all the disruption happening, lots of collaborations and partnerships you will see. And a shout out to Chris Padilla at Texas Auto Logistics. Listen, if you're a car hauler, do it, man. Use social media. You know, look at all these hashtags, right? There's a lot of companies to talk to, network with, collaborate with, partner with, which brings us to the ATI Insider. What in the world is ATI Insider? Really? Can you be an ATI Insider? I think there's a link. I think Kimberly's going to share the link. Hey, I missed a lot of live chat here. Hey, Kenneth Eaton's here. What's up, buddy? Cool. I was just talking about the future, so good timing, Ken. Thanks for tuning in. Brian Ardman, what's up? Jay Bunyor Transport. Bunyor Transport. Say hello. Thank you so much. Nothing chaps me more than people who can't run their businesses and blame brokers. Ouch! I'm telling you, it is a boxing match. That's part of being the insider. Find out what's going on. Oh, this is new. Tuesday Nights Live. No, Tuesday Nights Live is not new. Some of this marketing is new. What else we got here? Ooh, car transport services with Tai. Where is this stuff up? Sign up for June 1st. What is going on? What is this new marketing? What is happening tomorrow, May 27th, on the 2-minute drill down on the AC mobility connectivity? We're going to be talking about this stuff, so this is just kind of a teaser. Oh, by the way, if you need an auto webinar recap, send me an email. Man, do I love automotive webinars. This is the Car Shipping Business channel. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to, let's see, that's the end of industry news. So we had some actual news and then a couple teasers, huh? Teasing it up here on a Tuesday night. What we're going to do is I'm going to go into the information superhighway. And so what I want you to do is stick around for me. I'm going to be right back, and we're going to talk about what's been going on with ATI as a setup into what's happening with our interview tonight with Ryan Gerardi and AutoConversion. Stick around. We're going to be right back.
Hey guys, Tai, CTS Business Coaching. I connect dealers, auctions, and carriers. If you're a dealer and you're not getting your inventory on the lot in 5 days ready to sell, you've got a problem. It's called interest. Like I'm telling you something you don't know. Give me a call. I can connect you with an auction and a carrier, and you can get your cars on the lot in 5 days or less. 417-483-2764. Thanks and have a great day.
Just crushing it. Oh, whoops. Just crushing it on the live chat information there, Kimberly. Thank you so much. There's the phone number. There's Ty's email address. And if you need business coaching, do contact Ty. Every week I get people in the email, and we just need your first name, your email address, and what you're looking for. People that are looking for dispatch services, people that are looking to build their business, people that are afraid to talk to dealers, whatever it is. Ty really does a bang-up job talking to people at CTS Business Coaching. And so let's go into it. What's Auto Transport Intel been up to? All right. Now, I want to give you a brief recap. Okay, I want to make sure my audio's not too loud. Still only see 5 likes? Come on. Thank you, Tai. I appreciate that. You know what? The likes do help with the YouTube algorithm and showing up in recommended videos. It really means a lot. So please do remember to like and tell your friends. All right. So what was Auto Transport Intel doing? Listen, here's the deal. I started this channel in June 2017. So we're almost there. We're almost into the 4th year. And what I was doing was, I was a dispatcher for several years before I started Auto Transport Intel, and I felt like I learned Central Dispatch inside out, and I had a lot to say. Wow, we already jumped up to 15? Thanks so much. That's so awesome. So I started Auto Transport Intel, and it was just a basic WordPress site, and it still is kind of that way, and we're going to be talking about that. But between the website, really, that wasn't my main focus. My focus was, here was my very first video, starting a car hauling business with Don. And we're talking about, Don was saying, this is awesome. Don was one of my drivers when I was dispatching. He said the best way to make a small fortune in car hauling is start with a large fortune. Now, a lot of people didn't like that comment, but anybody in car hauling knows what he's talking about. And he's saying that none of this is easy. And I thought, well, you know what? Here's what I can do, is let me at least start by making dispatching videos, Central Dispatch tutorials, and here it is. Look at this. This is one of my, this I think is my 3rd video, which is now almost at about 50,000 views, and that was June 2017. This might be my 2nd or 3rd video, and there I am sitting at it's the same desk. That's the same phone. It's the same desk. I'm the same guy, and it's the same stuff. However, it's not just a dispatching channel. And I realized, you know what? There's a lot more to do than just talk about dispatching. In fact, some people are like, what are you going to do? Make a dispatching channel that's going to get really old? And, I thought, you know what? That's a really interesting point. So I started branching off into talking about ELDs and trucking in general. Now that was, okay, well this video is January 2018, but it's kind of a hodgepodge of what I was doing at the time. And, by the way, I started talking to Tai about, you know what, man? I need your help. I need your help because I'm getting so many people asking me questions that I really think you'd be a better coach and consultant to handle this. And the old Lincoln line. What did you talk? So I said, Tai, I need your help. And he said, I'm going to do it. And I said, you know what, man, let's set up car transport services, CTS business coaching. And so that started in October of 2018. And we started doing car hauling roundtables. And the content started to really expand. I was really proud of what we're doing. I thought, let's keep going. So I started making videos. Like I made this video with Dave at Clarksville Trucking. And this is another pretty good video. This is Meet Dave, Meet Wally Mo. This is February 2018, and it's a video edit. Everybody wants to know what's going on with the equipment, and I thought, that is great, but it's not really in my forte. And there's other guys doing videos. You see them constantly. CDL, not CDL, which trailer, which truck. I thought, you know what? My expertise really is beyond just the dispatch tutorial and the roundtables. I'm going to do this. I'm going to start making in-depth conversations and information. So I started it with the dispatcher training series. Man, I'm really proud of this training series, which is funny too, because at the time I didn't know that I was training people that would be known as illegal dispatchers, which, by the way, I'm still not buying into it. I wear my mask and gloves on that argument. I'm just not 100% sure. And then I started going into car hauling software and realized this is a great forte for me. Top 5 car hauling load boards. Man, if anybody is here to talk about the load boards in depth, it's me. I'm sitting at the desk all day, dispatching for years, and I have a flair for technology. I really like talking about it, meeting with the companies. And then I went even further. I said, you know what? What's going on with car shippers? Because up until now, I've booked cars and I've talked to them about pickup and delivery. But you know what? What are people Googling? What are their expectations? Is there a way to reach out to the new car shipper and build an information resource for them? So the channel kept expanding. Then we're having brokers on the show, brokers and shippers and carriers. And then We went live on location. March 2019, I did several live interviews at the Mid-America Truck Show, which we didn't even have this year, which is interesting. In fact, that kicked off the rest of the year between loading up the show with as many advertisers as I could, and then doing, in May, we were at the Auto Haulers Association. We went live in the room at the association meeting, me and Tai, and we're talking with Car Delivery Network, Sun Country Trailers, talking about the auto transport industry, and then I went live from, let's see, this was July. This is less than a year ago, live at Auto Intel Summit. Started making great networks and connections. Then we're with Automotive Logistics, just building the channel and the network. And then we're at Finished Vehicle Logistics with Automotive Logistics. And then we're with organizations talking about some of the principles in logistics of what's going on. Now, this is recently, now we're into talking with dealers. So we've got the brokers, we've got the carriers, we've got dealers, we've got the shippers, and then we got insurance agents. The channel has really grown to the point now we're doing state of car hauling, which I think that show is going to be changing here in another month or so as the economy starts to reopen up and we don't need these daily updates of lockdown and gloves and masks. We got dispatching live with Sue at Murphy Auto Transport. Now this is Auto Transport Intel today. Okay, so I just gave a kind of a quick recap of the last 3 years. If you haven't been to the homepage on YouTube at Auto Transport Intel, I encourage you to do it. What I've done here is, I got the introduction. What is Auto Transport Intel? Some people still ask, what is this? Why is there a guy making videos with all these people in the car shipping ecosystem? And there's a reason. In fact, I'm so glad I started this channel 3 years ago, because with everything changing, what a great time to re-examine the business as it is. We got dispatching live, Tuesday nights live, state of car hauling software videos. Oh, the greatest hits videos. I like those. And which is actually, it's funny, the oldest ones are some of the top ones. Dispatcher training series, company interviews, CTS business coaching, car shipper questions, and then I've got a whole series of those live interviews at Matt's. So what needs to be done? You know what needs to be done? I got the shows happening. I'm very happy with that. But you know what I haven't been happy with? The website. The website needs help. And I've got my hands full with the channel. And luckily I've been looking into the website. I started really looking into the website about 6 months ago. What can I do? What can I do to get a mobile-friendly website, but, on a limited budget, with my hands full with the channel? And it just so happens that at NADA, I made some other connections, and that led me to Ryan Gerardi at AutoConversion. And Ryan and I, we did a show together, and we've started talking. Check this out. You know what's cool? This is cool. Auto Transport Intel on AutoConversion. What we're going to do is we're collaborating with AutoConversion, and there's more to tell you, and I'm going to bring Ryan on to keep talking more about it. And one of the reasons, it was Mike Benavides, of Data One Software. And which is so funny too, because that show almost didn't happen for me. I was this close to not getting a pass to NADA, and but I made it happen. I kept hitting the phones and working on it and trying to make it happen. And one of the reasons I share this too is we all are in a journey of we all have a journey. And this is my journey. It's still a work in process. But that's why sometimes when I talk to people, I'm like, I think you should come on the show and talk. And they're like, yeah, but we're not done with the website, or we're not done with this campaign, or this or that. You know what? I don't know when do you actually get to point B, especially right now. Everything is changing and disrupted. This is a great time to continue the conversation of what it's like to be a growing business and sharing that information live. So let's do this. Let's bring in Ryan. here's what I want you to do. I want you to stick around. I'm going to run a video with this is an AutoConverse video, and while I run this, I'm going to have Ryan join us live. So stick around, and I should sell t-shirts. You're right, I should. You know what? I'll tell you what. Here's another milestone coming up. Is that when I hit 10,000 subscribers, I can have my Teespring merchant account tied into my YouTube channel. I'm at what am I at? Listen, if you know somebody that's not subscribed, say, subscribe to the channel. We got to get to 10K. We got to get to 10K before this summer. Enough said. Here comes the video. Stick around because Ryan is going to join us. We got a lot more to talk about.
When you want to buy a new car these days, most likely you turn to the internet. First, you go to a search engine, you end up on a few websites, and you start filling out forms with your information. Next thing you know, you have dealers calling you, emailing you, and sending you text messages. It's time for the nonsense to stop. At AutoConverse, there's a better way to get what you need from local dealers and automotive businesses. First, you go into your local market on the site. You make a request by providing as much or as little information as you desire. AutoConverse then sends this request out to all the dealers in your area that participate on the site. If they want to talk with you, then they have to come to the site to do it. This way, you never have to give anyone your personal contact information unless you choose to do so. Finally, a tool for auto shoppers and vehicle owners to get to know their local auto retailers before doing business with them. Get started today. It's free, and you will be amazed at how easy it is to take control of the automotive experience.
Okay, welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. Hang on one second here. Yeah, it's hard to text and do a live show, but sometimes I have to do it. Ryan is going to be joining us here in a second. And I know that there's a lot. It's a lot. Oh, here he is. He's here he's here. Here we go. We're into bang. Okay, good. I just turned on your audio channel. Ryan, can you see me and hear me okay? Mic check. Check one. Check.
I'm hearing double audio.
Okay, so what you could do is mute the YouTube live stream, as you know.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
Right?
My bad.
Yeah.
I should know this. Hold on.
Well, it's funny though. Isn't it great to be on the other side of the camera? Right? Because right?
I have your feed running in 3 places.
Yes.
I just realized that. It's
Excellent.
running in 3 places.
That's why it looks like we have so many people watching. As
right?
you know, I mean,
I get 6 friends that have 3 feeds up, and it
right.
really
Exactly. Oh, thanks, Ken. I've got a friend from college in the live chat tonight, and
oh, wow.
It's pretty cool. Well, how many people still have friends from college or from any other time zone, right? You know what I mean? Like it gets harder and harder to keep in touch and all that stuff. So, and Ken, we should catch up sometime. We were talking about sushi in the live chat. Hey, so you had sushi takeout recently, Ryan?
Yeah, from my local grocery store. I get it, I don't know, maybe once a month, maybe a little less than that. It's fine.
Okay. You know what? I eat grocery store sushi. So to some people, that doesn't count as sushi.
It's definitely in the sushi section.
But you can tell we're automotive startups when you're eating grocery store sushi, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I say it that way because here's the good news. Listen, anybody, if you're not familiar with Ryan Gerardi at AutoConversion, this is Ryan. Ryan, please do say hello. Introduce yourself to the audience tonight.
Well, hey, everybody. Hello, ATI ecosystem. I like how you start off your shows with that. And it's great to be back here. And I actually feel a little bashful, I got to say. So,
right.
But listen, man, you do a great show. You do a great show.
Thanks.
I know, I can't imagine all the work you put into gathering the news and getting it organized, and you don't get like caught into it, right? You just kind of whip through it. And I find that's how news needs to be. It's like this happened and that happened. You almost have to be indifferent to it. Whereas when I look at news, I'm like, man, I get all like sentimental and personal about it, but you do a good job.
Well, thanks. But, well, and I see, like, the thing is that here's one of the things. If people don't know, well, they don't know. Here's what people don't know right now is that there's a distinct overlap of things we do and an absolute difference in other things that we do. What I call you said it, your tech stack, what you do with marketing and social media is to an nth degree that I'm actually not capable. When people have said to me in the past, like, can you fix the clock on my VCR? And I'm thinking, that's ridiculous. Well, there's some people that can't fix the clock on their VCR, and I can't do with social media and the tech stack what you can do. I just can't.
Yeah.
But,
No.
but like, and other things content wise, I mean, I have strong fortes. And like what you were saying about the news, I like how before your shows, for everybody that's going to be on your show, you put out this video of what's going to be on the show. And man, I don't do that. I don't. I just throw you into the lion's den. It's just not part of my stack.
You're crazy. You send your Zoom ID to your guests like on
Live.
the commercial. Like I'm like for 2 days prior, I'm like, are we ready? Are we ready?
Yeah.
You're just like, get on here.
And that's funny. That's another thing that, I mean, I've always been, the live format has always been my thing. I was thinking about, I like the holidays. Did you have a good Memorial Day?
Yeah, I actually worked a lot on some website. I was launching a new website over for this show.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? And I took there's stuff that I needed to do for the website. I took the day off. I was hanging out with Kimberly, and also, when I'm chilling, I'm reflecting on stuff. And I was thinking about how it was 1995 when I was introduced to public access television and the live show format. Ever since 1995, that's 25 years ago, I've been drawn to the live show format. And I worked at a company where I did live stream demonstrations where I know other people at the company were like, what are you thinking? And I'm like, there isn't any better way than to sell a live stream product than to do a live stream. And, everyone's like, God, I don't know what, I mean, and I'm like, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Just let me do it. Let me introduce it. Let me, guide this. Well, and it's like, it's like raising a ship into the air. And now you're like the Wright brothers.
You know what? That's a good analogy because there's no stop or pause button. I was doing a webinar for a client a year or two ago, and I kid you not, it was just a webinar, just a boring old B2B webinar.
Yeah.
And he literally 10 seconds in, he froze.
Yeah.
And he was like, and I kind of waited, and he goes, he didn't know what to do. And he's like, can you pause this? And I'm like, we're live, man. Like, I'm sorry. And he like checked out. He came back a few minutes later, but I like that. I like that there's no stop and pause.
Me too.
Because the minute it's not live, look, I make 10 videos a day that are not live to send to people. And every one of them is like 10 takes. It's like I start it and I start talking, I'm like, start over, and 20 minutes later, I send a 60-second video off.
And it's good to do post-production. That's actually it's like you were talking about. The only way I can do the show is by doing hours and hours of pre-production. I go, I have learned to let go. Like when I do the news, like, yeah, I burn right through it. Because I know I need to. I know that if I was in the audience, just like right now, somebody's in the audience thinking, should I stay? Should I go, like, reorganize the soy sauce? That right? That is
nobody has a collection of soy sauce. Maybe hot sauce.
I don't know.
Maybe like hot sauce, but not soy sauce.
And it's funny because that's why the live chat is such a big deal. Tabasco. Joseph McCleary says Tabasco in the cereal. I don't know what they're talking about, but it made me think. It's funny because Ken, if Ken is even still here, because I think he had a Tabasco sauce collection.
Hot sauce or Tabasco sauce?
Right.
There's only one Tabasco.
Right. Ken is like, yep. And that's the thing too, is that we're way off topic, so we got to get back on topic. Because if we stay off topic too long, this is the everything show, and then that's just not a show. So, but I wanted to at least go off script with you, because it is something we can do. We know it's part of being alive. And it's part of proof that this is a live show, and we're going to get back on track. So let's talk about auto conversion.
Okay.
All right. I did my recap. Do me a favor. Give me a brief recap of how did you get to auto conversion? What's going on? What's the purpose? And I'll tell you what. I'm going to help you out. While you're talking, I'm going to share the screen. Now you can take over if you want to.
No, you drive. I'll tell you what to do.
All right, perfect. I love that. All right, so we go to autoconversion.net, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm at
You got a lot of tabs up there.
Oh man, that's because it was that's one of the ways I do the information superhighway, is I let the tabs guide me. You saw that I didn't like reference any note cards,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I let the media be my guide.
Yep. That's what I do. But whenever I do my shows, I have all the tabs so that way nothing has to load. It's already preloaded.
Exactly.
Still get lost. So, so you're on the autoconversion.net homepage.
Yes.
And what I want to mention to the folks that are here, the video that you played was for the AutoConverse social. At the time, I called it the social e-commerce platform. Did you realize that video was from 2010? The one you played.
The one I just played?
Yeah.
I did not. Cool.
That was from 2010.
Cool.
And here's the story behind that. So AutoConversion has seen a few different phases, if you will. It's on a new phase right now. It's being redefined.
Right. Everything is.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean, the whole
That makes
COVID
sense.
thing forced me to redefine how I monetize, right?
Yeah, right.
But it didn't affect my overall mission and vision of auto conversion. So initially, when I launched auto conversion, you ready for this? Before it was called auto conversion, it was called Web 2ologies. Remember when social media was called Web 2.0?
I do remember.
Yeah, it was called Web 2.0.
Yes.
And I had this idea that I would launch this network that would bring automotive businesses together and interface with dealers. And I learned pretty quickly that I don't know, it was just too pie.
What's the year on that?
2006.
And you were thinking about dealers and websites and stuff?
Yeah,
Awesome, dude.
I couldn't buy autoconversion.com. It was taken, so I bought autoconversion.net.
Right.
I actually installed Joomla at the time. Joomla's a more of a
social media thing, right?
It's a content management system.
Okay.
Very kind of original, legacy web days. But I had built all these like different niches within automotive. Anyway, point is I bailed on the whole idea. And today, if you look at driving sales, you ever go to drivingsales.com?
Drivingsales.com.
Yeah.
Should I go there?
Sure.
Okay.
Bring it up.
All right, cool.
But I would say that drivingsales.com is what I initially set out for auto conversion. What happened was I started doing blogging for car dealers. This was in 2007. I started blogging for car dealers, and you couldn't say blog. I couldn't
That's
say
still, man, that's pretty ahead of the curve, 2007.
Yeah, we were doing.
Yeah.
I had a formula. It was a formula that somebody taught me. This was back. Someone showed me how the formula worked.
Right.
And we were producing about. I would do on average 3 blog posts per day per dealer. And what I would do is I would launch these blogs. I had this whole network of blogs, and I would publish content to these blogs and link them in a certain way. And basically, I could get a dealer to own his local search market within 45 days. And I charged about $2 or $3 grand a month. And I had a whole team of writers, and I had a manager that did all this. Jay, I kid you not, I was spending like 8 to 10 to 12 grand a month on article writing. Very certain formula. It was so mundane. It was so mundane. So I had all these blogs, and I started looking at the analytics,
which really worked to build link juice.
Yeah, basically I was, and it wasn't black hat. This wasn't black hat. This was a legitimate way to drive to get SEO traffic. It was very effective for that. But as other people started to adopt that practice, then it became more and more difficult.
Yeah, absolutely.
But one thing I noticed was on our network of blogs, we had 12 or 15 blogs, different domains and everything, is that only 10% of the traffic coming into the blogs was passing through to my dealers, to my clients. So that means I had 90% of my traffic that wasn't, it was just waste. So that's what led to the idea of AutoConverse. I went to the drawing board. I came up with this whole way to bring all that traffic into one place. And I started building in schemes to monetize that 90% of traffic. And that was the original idea of AutoConverse, was that we would bring website traffic into one environment and give them the tools and the ability to communicate with dealers in a way to conduct business. The problem was, Jay, this was 2010. It just was, we're asking too much of consumers. I mean, the whole idea was you could shop anonymously. Well, here we are, in 2020, and now we're faced with the government's tracking you, but Facebook and Google have been all this time, right? So it was too much. It was too much at the time, and after about 18 months, I sunset the whole idea and didn't revive it until 2015, and called it the future of mobility. And that kind of paved the way for today. Here we are, 4 years later.
What's interesting is that selling online, I mean, even now, is still hard for many companies to kind of grasp, get a hold of, figure out how to effectively do it. And in fact, that's why in industry news, and this is where I see some of our collaboration really. Oh, my internet's unstable.
But we're all good.
We're good. Okay. So, and by the way, let's see. I've got a pause on my end over here. Let's see here. Are we still? I think we're still going. Okay, wait.
Yeah. It seems good.
Okay. We were zoomed. Okay. Cool. Woo. Don't you hate that? See, and again, part of that Starship Enterprise in the air, we just took a hit, and Scotty's like taping wires together in the background. But we're okay. We're okay.
Nothing's as reliable as that good old fashioned landline, huh?
Okay, I'm hard lined in right now. I'm still on. Okay, we're still.
So here's the reason I gave you that video to play today, and it has to do with Ask Auto. I wanted to get a feel from your viewers.
That's what I was thinking about when I saw it.
Yeah, I wanted to get a feel from your viewers.
Let's go to Ask Auto.
About the idea of let's dial this back. Our whole purpose, Jay, for us partnering is to bridge that conversation.
That's right. That happened to me before. All right, I'm here.
It's to bridge that conversation between auto retail, the dealer side, and car shipping, because they're so pertinent to each other. And
we're seeing the headlines mixing more and more now than ever before.
Yeah, to me, the used car business is kind of the pulse, if you will, of the auto industry. Even though new cars coming in, right, is one thing, and rentals are a huge part of the industry, but used cars to me is one of those just core pillars of the economics of the auto industry as a whole. So, and car shipping's right in the middle of all that. So that's why I wanted to bring that up, because Ask Auto is coming to market as a consumer-facing brand that is basically intent on interfacing dealers with consumers around their vehicle needs, which was the original premise of AutoConverse that I just explained from 10 years ago.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I know the owner behind Ask Auto. I know the people behind that. And, I think the time's right. That's what I think. I think the time's right. And I want to see where car shipping fits in with all this.
Well, the time is right. What's interesting, too, is, okay, so not only has car shipping been extremely fragmented for a long time, and longer than I even can talk about. I mean, I've had to do a lot of research and catching up. It's so fragmented that I've learned firsthand that a carrier may think that the only thing that really matters in car shipping is the actual loading, carrying, and delivery. And I can understand that. But the broker is positive that the only thing that matters, many brokers, positive the only thing that matters is the actual relationship with the customer. Whereas, many people that are carriers and brokers know that the relationship and the delivery of the vehicle are vital to the transaction. But as you grow into spending time with auto auctions, an auto auction, they're not, the carrier is important, but that's just secondary to the actual network of dealers, people buying and selling the vehicles themselves. So you have these silos, right? And everybody's in a silo. And what I found so fascinating is that when you connect all the silos, and then what's happening now, you start to open up into understanding that home delivery, car buying online connects all these parts. And to truly understand the industry as a whole, you have to talk to all these groups. And there are still, I think most of the industry is still in silos. That's why there are plenty of carriers that are like, Jay, I don't need any of this stuff. I just need to know which cars to load. And as business changes and dries up, I think it starts to drive some of those companies to then seek this information that we talk about in car shipping logistics and why things are happening the way they are.
I don't know anything about the car shipping business,
Well,
quite frankly. I don't know.
Well,
I have so many questions. Like, does a car hauler specialize on dealer-to-dealer hauling or dealer-to-consumer hauling? Or do they just take what, you said it's based on relationships. How many relationships does a car hauler have? These are things I just don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
You know what? That is an absolute perfect segue. I am right now live inviting Tai to join us because that's where Tai comes in. Tai just said, "Bring me in." Exactly, brother. Because I really, and this is CTS business coaching, I think he provides the answers better than I do on that front. I can speak about it, but since Tai founded a car hauling business and grew it from the ground up, which we're going to have him speak about. And a lot of people know who Tai is. I mean, this isn't going to, things just got spicy. This isn't, some people already know Tai. Hey, Exotic Hotshot's with us. What's up, Exotic? Here, let's do this. Rather than me telling you what I'm going to tell you, let's have Tai tell the story. Okay, I think he's joining now. Mic check, 1, 2, test. Checking, check.
Man on the street.
Are you with us, Tai?
Live.
You're live.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
What's up?
I hear you.
Hey, Ryan. I'm using my earpiece today, so I can step away. I got to show you guys something really cool. You ready for this?
Okay, yeah.
Watch this.
Ah, look at that.
Oh, yeah, cars on the move.
Cars on the move.
Lift it a little higher. Lift it a little higher. What's he talking about? Honey, what's he
Honey!
Cars on the move.
Let's get real serious. Look at the mileage on this bad boy.
Dude, look at that. Cars on the move. Cars on the move. It's funny, we're talking about ideas we've had for years. When did you come up with Cars on the Move, Ty?
Well, that's a great story. I used to do a lot of trucking, right? Hauling cars. And I used to take cars from dealers to auctions and from auctions to dealers. And one of my routes, one of my lanes was Joplin, Missouri to Tulsa, Oklahoma. There's a big billboard up there, and it says, Church on the Move. Cars on the move.
Church on the move.
I stole it right off the billboard.
Dude, that's awesome.
You didn't know that?
I didn't. I mean, if I did, I forgot.
Oh,
Which,
well,
I'm
good
prone
story.
to do. I forget stuff.
Anyway, well, I want to get back to what Ryan was asking questions. Ryan, start over there real quick.
Yeah, Ryan, hit us.
So, cause I don't know car shipping. When I think of hauling cars, I don't have any idea what an individual, independent car hauler, what kind of volume they're dealing with, how many relationships they're managing, and then I'm sure there's large companies. There's probably independents from small to medium to huge large companies. Jay, and some of your verbiage when I was building your website was, moving tens of thousands of cars a year. Why is it not hundreds or millions? I would have thought it would be like hundreds of thousands or millions of cars. So, this is unfamiliar territory for me. So hopefully I think that's 5 or 6 questions you can go at.
Yeah. Well, the carriers, that's guys like me. The guys like me are a weird breed in and of themselves. They really are afraid of car dealers, afraid of auctions. I don't know what to do. So most of the guys that start out in this business, they start out with a 1-ton and a 3-4 car trailer, right? And they usually go to like a load board. And what my experience is over 20 years of doing this, building a fleet of 20 semis that haul 9 cars at a time, is it works a lot better if you have relationships with dealers and auctions. Because, just like you, I heard you talking about, the stat that I always go back to is, I think it was 2018 for sure, there's 40 million used cars sold. So the new car number, how many new cars were sold in 2018? I think it was 38 million and 19 used cars.
New cars or used cars?
Used cars was 40 million.
Yeah, used cars about 40 million. Yeah.
I think in 19 it was 38 million. I could be wrong. But the new car sales were, in 2018, 17 million. So what I know about used cars from first-hand experience, real life, I might move the same car 4 times in 1 week. Used car. New car, not going to happen. How do I move a used car 4 times in 1 week? Picked it up at the dealer, I took it to the auction. Somebody bought it at the auction, I took it to the dealer. Shipped. Mm-hmm. Then they decided they couldn't sell it. They didn't want it. It had a problem. I picked it up and took it to another auction because they're going to wholesale it. So it's very easy to transport the same used car more than 1 time. So if I'm going to live with the classes, I'm going to sell to the masses. The mass, in my opinion, is the used car space. So what I get really excited about are dealers and auctions, right? Well, why aren't you excited about carriers?
Says no one ever.
Yes, says no one ever. I'm the guy that's standing in the transport parking lot in the rain having a good time, right?
That's right.
What's wrong with this guy? I think they call it high performance, right? He has fun in a cardboard box, duct tape clothes. The guy's just always having fun. But it's a hard business. There's nothing easy about it. And where I find my niche, my role, is that I've made a lot of incredible relationships and still have them with new car dealers and used car dealers. I also have great relationships with auction guys, in my lane, of course, but where our goal is to get me out of my lane and go start making relationships with other auctions. But sorry, I can talk too much.
No, you're great. I'm responding to an OCD about my title. Got it.
So let me interview you guys. Let me get empirical here with you. You have, I think you said 9 trucks, Ty, in your company?
I had 20. I don't have
have
any today.
Okay,
had
that means you have 20 drivers.
I had 20 drivers, and then I had 5 owner-operators, and then I had car pullers all over the place, and a lot of people in the office and the shop.
What's the difference between a driver and an owner-operator?
Good question. Driver is a W-2. That's the easiest way
Okay.
to explain it. I tell them where to go, when to go, and how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
An owner-operator is 1099. So he can technically decline a load or accept a load
Sure.
from me.
Okay.
From doing it to him. So,
All right.
see, I
So
had
driver
20
was on
trucks. Yeah,
driver's on payroll.
Drivers
so-
are on payroll.
How many car haulers of that size, right? Guys like you with a fleet of 20. How many are out there in the US? Thousands, hundreds?
That's my new job. My new job is to figure that out. I know of about
So
4.
in the thousands of companies, 90+% are 1 to 5 owner operators. I mean,
Okay.
it's almost all.
Yeah, because it's very regionalized, right? Typically, you're moving
No,
cars
no,
around.
No, it should be. So back to your original question. Okay, if you've got guys that have a 1-ton and a 3-car with no business plan, no strategy, no relationships, and they just want to haul cars and F the man, right? I'm going to start my own business, F the man. I'm tired of being told what to do. They're going to get on a load board. Then they're going to call me through Jay's show, and they're going to ask me, where do I find a dispatcher because I can't drive and do all this at the same time? I'm going to say, your mind is a dangerous neighborhood. Don't go there alone. What? Say that
mind?
again. Your mind is a dangerous neighborhood. Don't go there alone. What does that have to do with hauling cars and a dispatcher? Well, it has a lot to do with it, because what happens when you're driving down the road for 4 hours straight because you want to F the man and you think you're making all this money? How do you know your dispatcher got you the best load? How do you know your dispatcher is going to find a way to get you out of it, right? I don't mind load boards and I don't mind dispatchers, but I'm here to tell you, if you want to survive, there is nothing, zero easy about this business.
Hey, I want to pay attention to the comments here. So Gary says, is there a service where somebody can get a dealer as a customer for him, and then he pay them a commission from the dealer's business?
And I want to hit pause here for a second because I want to say something. Is that what happens is what Tai is laying down truth, but there are folks that either don't like the way he says it or do not agree or believe it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like COVID. I mean, there are.
It's like a lot of things. I think there's corporate structures, and then there's more independent structures that can flourish, right? Because when you get here, let's bring Hertz into this. Here's the problem with big corporate business models is they're still extremely vulnerable when shit hits the fan.
And that's why, with what just happened with Hertz, and the recap, if you're just joining now and you heard that Hertz filed bankruptcy on Friday, and that doesn't mean they're going to be gone forever, but they got to restructure, and the market's going to be flooded with used vehicles, which is going to affect your trade-ins, etc. If you were relying on a steady check as a driver for a rental car company transport business, yeah, it's time to watch Auto Transport Intel. Because all this time you thought, I do not need this new information. Suddenly, you do. Today.
That's a good point. I mean, there's big box corporate America, and then there's Main Street, right? There's mom and pop.
Yeah.
And I think in a time like this, not that anyone's immune, everybody's vulnerable in their own way, but the more overhead you have, the more challenge you can be. Here's the funny thing. What was Hertz's loss? Like $340 million or something, right? I mean, that's equivalent to it's equivalent to Carvana's losses in the last quarter.
Well, and when you hear about their debt, what concerned me is $17 billion in debt. Why does Hertz have $17 billion in debt? because they were robbing Peter to pay Paul to try to catch up to things like ride sharing, right? Like I was reading, there was one section called The Perfect Storm. Hertz already had problems. It didn't just start, but this was it.
I'm surprised that Hertz is the only one being that drastically affected.
It's not just Hertz, and that's the next problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually all of them. In fact, when you look at Hertz, it was saying that Hertz owned Dollar and like Avis owns. So
yeah,
they own.
There's like 3 companies.
That's the thing. So they're all, to some degree, in trouble. That's why baseball stadiums are full of cars. It's the rental car companies' overflow. It's insane. The problem that we have right now is insane. Not to mention, with all this disruption, you've got dealerships finally trying to figure out how to sell online, which brings us back to what Tai is saying. Tai is laying down truth in a real manner. So I implore anybody, in fact, that with the way we talk, sometimes the way we talk gets in the way of the message. Well, I don't know. Use your filter, but listen to the knowledge.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
No, it's good.
This is a church. I know, right? It's 9:26.
The cult of car haulers.
It's not
well, no,
a cult.
I always say follow the car, right?
Yeah, you do.
And I always say, okay, well, let's think about that for a minute. The car. Some guys at the bar. This is a story I always tell. Some guys at the bar got the napkin, drinking beer. Hey, wouldn't it be cool if a car had this on it and if it looked like this? Yeah, we should go to the office tomorrow and tell Bob. They go to the office tomorrow and tell Bob. Bob loves it. They build a car. The car is born. What happens to the car as soon as it comes out of the assembly line? It either goes on a train or a boat or a truck. And it's going to where? A dealership. So somebody show me a dealership that doesn't have a used car department. You talk to enough dealers, you'll find out a little information. The used car department generally profits way more than the new cars. Is that right or wrong, Ryan?
Say that again. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
I've heard a couple guys.
I'm looking at Truckify's comments that the Central Dispatch has over 8,000 carriers. But say that again, Tai. I was half with you.
Yeah, which is why you don't want to rely on Central Dispatch as your business model. You got 8,000 competitors all fighting over the same 30-cent a mile car. That ain't no business model.
Well, what I tell the guys that want to load board in a dispatcher is I said, okay, let's look at who's on there. Who are we looking at? Jay, who's on Central Dispatch? Tell me.
What is Central Dispatch?
It's most of the startups, because anybody still in business after several years knows you can't just live off Central.
Let me rephrase the question. Yeah. First, I'll answer Ryan's question. Ryan.
Yeah, you do that, Tai. By the way, Tai, you ask me questions as if I know what you're thinking.
All right.
I was listening, Tai, but then I was trying to respond to Truckify because I don't know what Central Dispatch is. Remember, I don't know car shipping, so
yeah, right.
When you say things like I'm going to go to the load board, I don't really know what that means.
In trucking, freight especially. Where's Shaggy? Is Shaggy in here?
But here, let me ask you both a question.
But a load board, I'm going to define it. Load board is a list. It's the eBay list of cars being posted by people. Hey, I need this
that
shipped.
need to be shipped.
And it's just a list of cars that need to be shipped. And cars they come and go. It's like the stock market of cars that need to be shipped.
Right. So the question, let me rephrase the question, Jay. Who posts vehicles on the load board?
Brokers.
And?
Some carriers.
And?
Some dealers.
Dealers. Brokers and dealers are the primary posters on the load board. Good job, Jay. So, what do we know about brokers?
Hold on. Let me ask you.
We know that brokers need to make money.
Let me ask you a question.
To justify their business.
Yeah, go ahead, Ron.
Not everybody in the car shipping business knows all this, right?
That's
might
why we
seem,
have Auto Transport Intel. That's literally why.
because
we have
like
this channel.
F&S Trucking is up here, and he says, I've been thinking about reaching out to somebody,
Sue.
trying to get a little education on auto transporting before I dive in. So my first thought is, how do you have a company called F&S Trucking, or if that's just your handle, but you don't know the transport business? A lot of questions.
I'm assuming General Freight.
Mm.
Yeah. Because, in fact, General Freight and Auto Transport, they share a lot of similarities as far as what you see at a truck stop, but that's where it ends.
Okay, so you could be in the freight business and think, I'd like to get into auto transport, but you don't have any relationships.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to have the proper equipment. So relationships and equipment would be a start.
But
You'd have to know what a load board is.
A guy like me, though, I won't talk about equipment until we're ready to get going. Oh, go ahead, Jay.
Well, he just said it. What he was just talking about, relationships and equipment, and with what you're talking about, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send the invite to Lance, because we're going to bring in that next element, because you've been talking about dealers, and I want to say this too. I was saying it before, is that it's interesting how we keep talking about dealers, and so many people they're like, stop talking about dealers, talk about load boards. Why is that such a problem, Ty?
To talk about dealers?
Because I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm here to tell you, if you want to build a business that you can hand off to your kids or whatever you want to do with it, I don't care, sell it, it requires relationship. There's no way around it. You're not going to build a business, a fleet, off of a load board. Sure, there might be the anomalies out there that maybe have 2 to 4, maybe 5 that they're running off the load board, but are they profitable? Are they going to be around in 5 years? Doubt it. And I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm really not.
So when you say you need relationships, you mean relationships with dealers. That's what you're referring to.
What I refer to, dealers. Hey, go ahead and send it, Jay.
Yeah, keep going.
I want to, relationships with dealers and auctions. Another thing, the reason I've got Lance coming on, guys, Lance was born in an auction, and he's the general manager of an auction. And Lance and I go way back, but the reason I'm bringing Lance on is because Lance understands auctions, and he knows dealers. And all I talk about, you won't ever really hear me get too far out. I just talk about basics. Keep it simple. You go to the dealer, and you ask him where he buys his cars. The answer is auctions, right?
But
traditionally,
right up until like last week,
right?
Well, and the fact is, well, there is. I mean, there's.
Well,
I'll tell you what.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, no, you say it.
Well, here's the thing. I talk about auctions all day. I love auctions. And I love going to auctions. But when I hear about CAR, which is ADESA, saying they don't really want to have a live auction anymore, that really blows my mind. I don't understand that. And wait till you hear Lance. Lance will say, what? I mean, this is real?
Well,
people don't come to the auction anymore?
And here's the thing. Until we get through the baseball stadiums of used cars, because where can you process a baseball stadium of rental cars that didn't get sold or moved? That's going to take the auction.
No, you're going to need consumers to buy. Look,
well,
this
yeah,
whole COVID thing, everything going on in the world today, nothing will go anywhere if we don't have a consumer market. If we don't have a marketplace where there's buyers, nothing works anymore. And it's like we're putting a bunch of Legos in the wheel. It's just, everything's coming to a halt. I mean, it'll pick up again, but without consumers, nothing's going to work.
Lance, can you hear us?
I can hear you. How are you?
All right, man. Cool. Thanks for joining us tonight on a Tuesday night. We got Lance on the phone. Ty was just talking about how you were born in an auction.
Well, yeah, about as close as you could have been, I guess. We lived right behind the lanes in a house just off of the parking lot, basically, right behind the auction. That's where I was born.
What auction is that? What town?
That was I'm sorry, I thought you knew that. 166 Auto Auction in Springfield, Missouri. My uncle founded the auction back in 1949, Melvin Reed. He was he was much a pioneer in the automobile industry, auto industry. He was he's in the Automobile Auction Association's Hall of Fame. He was president twice, but very, very, very innovative man when it came to the auction industry.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, Lance, I didn't really do a proper introduction with you here. First of all, it's great to hear your voice, and thank you so much.
Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, this is really an honor for me, and people that know me know that I hang around some pretty incredible people, and you're one of the incredible people. I promise you that. So,
well,
just like you're saying, I mean, you know the auction, and as we were kind of texting back and forth the other day, I'm just here for the basic information, Lance. What is an auction?
Right. Okay. Well, automobile auctions have been in existence for many, many years, and it's a place where factories can dispose of test vehicles or executive leases. It's where a buyer and a seller basically come to meet one another, and it can be from a trade-in unit to a wholesaler who takes it to his lot and fixes it up and retails it, or to someone who brings it back to the auction. It's just a way to bring a buyer and a seller of a vehicle together.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing too, isn't it? Because it's like literally you're watching capitalism as it happens.
Right, and that's why automobile auctions are successful. Free market automobile auctions are successful is they create almost an exciting atmosphere, and it's almost like a circus. So people get caught up in the concept of bidding and purchasing at an auto auction.
Yeah. Okay, and you were talking about wholesalers and dealers. So real quick, what is now most auctions? I know the answer to this. I know the answer to most of these questions, but so just go along with me. But most of the auctions today are dealer only. Is that right?
Well, I would assume that's still correct. I haven't been in that industry for a while now, but there are some public auctions out there. There was one here in Springfield for the longest time. I think it's now shut down, but across the country there had to have been several, for sure. But it is primarily a dealer only industry. Yeah.
So if you want to go into the auction, you're not a dealer. You either need to go in with a dealer or talk to somebody in registration, right? You just don't walk into auctions.
No, you can't. You're not supposed to. Unfortunately, that happened, and a dealer, and dealers know this, a dealer is not supposed to bring a retail customer with them, and it happens. We try to stop it, or we tried to stop it as much as we could, but it's a place for wholesalers to do business, and they don't need to compete against a retail person purchasing an automobile. So it was really doing the other dealers an injustice if they would bring a retail customer to the auto auction.
Yeah. Okay. So you were basically born right behind an auction, which your uncle Melvin started back in 1949, right?
You're right, at 1949, correct.
49. And then that was 166 Auto Auction, Springfield, Missouri.
That's correct. 166. 166 is a business spur, I guess, at the time of Route 66, which comes right through Springfield. And it was the business loop of Route 66. It was 166. That's how we got the name for the auto auction.
Yeah, and it was just a fantastic place. You guys got a beautiful location. There was breakfast, dealers come in, drink coffee, go look at the cars. Real friendly atmosphere, right?
Oh yeah, that's what it's based on, relationships and a friendly atmosphere. That's the guys are happy when they come there and they're treated well, and and it's friendly. They won't come back. If they don't enjoy their experience, then they can go someplace else.
Right. And we want dealers to come. So here's a good one for you. At the auction, you have certain people that really cater to dealers. I think I call them auction sales reps. Is that right?
That's correct.
And then what do they do?
Yeah.
What's an auction sales rep's job?
Well, it's a big array of responsibilities for so that, that we can have the sales reps out on the road making the initial contact with the dealer, to get his business, either to get him to bring cars to consign to the auto auction or come and purchase cars from the auto auction. So that's kind of the initial contact. And then these people can be responsible for just ensuring when a dealer brings 5 or 10 cars or 15 or 20 cars that they are going to make sure his cars are on spot. It's very much just a public relations position, that you make sure that their business is going to go off as smoothly as possible while they are at the auction, and that's who the dealers actually can have a one-on-one relationship with. Right,
and dealers really have incredible relationships with these auction sales reps. I mean, I've seen them in action. They do incredible things together, right?
Well, they do, and anyway, in our business, we try to keep it very professional, and but there are some friendships that develop in between that business relationship. Friendships can develop from there quite easily.
Yeah, and I always tell people one of the reason I love auctions so much is because there's a lot of interaction, and some of these guys really don't even like each other, but they still get along. I always listen to guys, and they're talking about, how did you do this last month? How did you do last week? What's hot in your neighborhood? What's not? I mean, you see that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. You come to the same auction week after week, and you may be traveling from Texas and there's a dealer traveling from Arkansas, but you see him at the auction week after week. So acquaintances are made. So, most people out there treat each other with a lot of respect in the same industry like that.
Yeah. So I encourage people to go meet dealers, find out where they're going to auctions. And I mean, the cool part about it, Lance, and you know this better than anybody, I'd love for you to tell us. I mean, things change, right?
Well, yeah, every industry, things change. What are you thinking about? One specific thing, or just the overall growth of the auto auction?
Overall, yeah, just the growth. I mean, we're seeing some changes that have really been in my brain that I can't comprehend. Cars saying they don't want to have live auctions anymore, and I mean, yeah, I'm sure COVID had an impact on that, but I've had a little theory for several years that they don't want anybody to come to the auction because of the overhead and the liability.
Well, they talked about auctions like that. That's been a subject of conversation, I guess, for quite a while. But I don't believe that they will ever get away from the brick and mortar auctions, and there are always going to be dealers that have to kick the tires and fill the paint. That's just the way some people have to do it. So, when they went with the online auctions, which actually have been very, very successful with the rating systems and so on, there's people can buy, dealers can purchase vehicles with a lot of confidence based on that rating system, but there's still people, like I said, that will want to come to the auctions, not only just to inspect the car physically themselves, but just for that relationship that they may have with a dealer from Arkansas or a dealer from Texas or whatever. So now, as far as if people are really driving that aspect of only doing online, I don't know. I really don't know if that's the case or not. Because I don't know.
So can I get in here?
Ahead.
Just
Ryan, meet Lance.
Lance, I'm gonna try to play a little devil's advocate here, just to maybe push it a little bit. But the cost the time and the resources and the cost of going to auction are real, right? You got an
Right, for sure.
time, physically there, transport and all that. And I think it's fair to say some dealers like that. They like that time they get to go to the auction. It's a perk for some. So the argument of the live auction, the digital auction, is you can minimize that cost. So, when you say, like you say, the idea of kicking the tires around and getting there physically to see it will never go away. But what is that real cost savings that the digital auction brings to the table?
Well, there are different types of digital auctions or online auctions. And a digital auction would be just I guess, they would do digital images of the vehicles. And that, once that all got loaded on, I could see where that type of auction could become cost efficient for the automobile auction industry. Online is what I'm most familiar with, just because we really broke that ground with online auctions, being a Mannheim auction back in the 90s and 2000s. But there, you still have, when you're doing an online auction, there's still an auctioneer that's involved. There's still someone who's driving that car across the block, through the lanes to make, create the auction. And you still have title clerks that are going to have to process all of the paperwork. So an online auction, I don't see that it is any more cost effective. Could be a little bit to go strictly online versus a live auction. Digital, I really don't know about that.
Yeah, it's definitely tricky.
But the one constant here is that if the auction is happening digitally on the computer, the dealer still sees the product, and that's somebody that the car hauler can network with regarding business. Am I right?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
well. See, what Lance? How long were you in the business total?
Well, I was at the auto auction for 33 years.
33. That's a long
Yeah.
time.
Right.
And then you were with Mannheim. Mannheim bought you guys, right? Is that right? Is that how it went?
Yeah, Melvin had the auto auction up until 1988, and we were purchased by Mannheim Auctions. It's a subsidiary of Cox Enterprises out of Atlanta, Georgia. And then actually, Mannheim sold the auction to a John Keeter and a Tom Schaefer back in 2012, I think. 2011 or 2012. So it is. Yeah. So it was an independent auction when my family owned it. Went to Mannheim, and then it went back to being an independent auction now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, some of the changes now, what they're doing is they're putting up the car. So they do these, with all this technology now, you can take these pictures of these cars. So they do this CR, which is the condition report. They slap the car up on the simulcast. Everybody and their brothers logged in, and they're all bidding on it. Bang, bang, bang. I mean, it's weird. Yeah. And they're doing that without actually having people in the lane. Now, I remember back when you guys were running around with the van. Remember?
For sure.
Live auctions?
Oh, we did that. But I think you're talking about the difference between a digital auction and what my opinion is of an online auction. The online auction is an auction that still is actively in progress, but there are people now tuning in and actually watching the live auction. I've not had any experience really with the digital auction.
So online, they're still running the car through the lane. Is that what you're?
Right. Yes, and that's what that's the way we did it. And I know there were people that were progressing towards the digital, but I don't really have any input on that at all.
Yeah, well, that's okay. That's good stuff. So what we're learning. What do you got, Jay?
Well, I got a couple interesting questions here, and I want to read them. I I guess the first one would be that is pretty specifically, relevant. Do you think ACV technology is affecting the traditional auto auction? And the answer would be yes. I mean, digital auctions are affecting traditional auto auctions.
Plus, ACV does something that's unique that I don't think anyone else does. Is they can do a live auction. So let's say you're a customer going into a dealership and you want to trade in your car. The dealer can list it right there and put it in a live auction, and the customer can watch and see what happens.
And there are now competitors to ACV. So,
Hey, Lance, have you heard about all this?
I have not. No.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to hear about it.
there's several.
No.
What they're doing is they're taking the dealer car. Okay, so the auction sales rep that goes and makes friends with the dealer and asks them, "Can we bring your trade-ins and any old inventory to our auction?" Now you got ACV, and they say, "Why would you ever want to take your cars to the auction? You got to deal with a guy like Tai who sucks. Then you got to deal with the auction." They suck, and then you got to deal with all the goofy people driving the car, and it's going to get banged and scratched. Just leave it on your lot. We'll come to you. We'll take pictures. We'll throw it up on the internet live sale, and it's gone. That's what's happening today, Lance.
Yeah.
And it is freaky for guys like me. I'm just like, what?
Well, it still has to be shipped somewhere, doesn't it?
Well,
Well, it takes, what it does is it wipes out a guy with 20 trucks. Because you go to each one of those dealers, they might have 20, 30 max, right, Lance? Ballpark trade-in sitting back there?
Right.
Okay. Well, Ty would come in with 30 cars. Okay, I'm going to come in with 3 semis. I'm going to wipe out 27 of those in one shot. And they're going to be at the auction in less than 2 hours. Well, now you got those 30 cars. You know who bought them? 30 different people bought 30 different cars. And they're all going to 30 different places. No thanks, I'll pass.
Yeah.
I like the old days when I whip into the dealership. The cars are all scattered everywhere. I got to find the guy that's got the keys, and he's smoking weed in the back. And golly, you know. But I don't need any weed. I just need the keys.
Wait a minute. Now, those aren't the keys. That's the... So, here's another good question. SoCal Trucking asks, doesn't Manheim have trucks that specifically haul for them, right? You'd think, and also, I mean, Ready Auto comes in the equation here. So let's talk about, in the past, Lance, how did, even at a Manheim, with, lots of cars are being moved, did the auction have its own trucks? I know the answer, but I want to hear you talk about it. Did the auction have its own trucks, our own car hauling trailers to move cars?
Okay. Whenever we were an independent auction, yes, we did have our own trucks. And then when we were purchased by Manheim, that department, that transport department, stayed with the auction. And for a period of time, yes, Manheim did have their own trucks. Through our auction, they were our trucks that we would haul cars out. But I don't think they ever really liked being in the transportation business, and I don't know if there probably were a few auctions out there that actually had transportation trucks, but I would think there's a smaller percentage that did have it, and then I just don't think there's that many auctions that had it, I guess.
And two, Lance, I mean, that's great. Jay brings up a good point, because I mean, you guys, you had your own fleet of trucks. I think, what did you have, 6 or 8 of them?
Oh, we had more than that at one period, but 8 or 10.
Well, yeah. So the importance of being able to go get cars to bring them to the auction. This is what I talk about all the time to everybody. Auctions need carriers. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because their job is to go get cars to bring them to the auction. And I agree with Lance. I mean, I think things are changing. Things are weird. By the way, Jay, APAC just made a deal with KAR for $550 million. Did you read that?
I was. To do
That's
what,
just an
though?
Investment. That's
right,
just,
it
here's
didn't
some free money. Yeah, what? Exactly.
pay off debt?
Yeah, who knows?
Right?
They might be in some trouble. I've heard that
Who
CarMax
isn't?
is spanking Odessa.
I'm sorry, I was talking over you. Say it again. You heard? Who's
I heard
spanking
CarMax
Odessa?
was spanking Odessa.
CarMax? You've been talking about CarMax for years.
I've been watching CarMax. They're doing something. But anyway, it's good stuff. Lance, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you guys for asking me to join you. I've been out of the industry for so long, I feel like I'm tongue-tied about it anymore. But you guys have an interesting conversation going on, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Lance.
that was good.
Really
I appreciate
it. Yeah, that was cool.
It's getting late, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Yeah. We're going to go for
Lance
a few more
is
minutes, but
he's the industry leader, man. The guy who knows about auctions. Thank you, Lance.
dude, thanks, Lance. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. All right, cool. So, here, I like how Ryan adds perspective when he asks, some questions, just fundamental questions. Ryan, you must have a couple fundamental questions after hearing Lance talk, or what anything.
Well, I mean,
because I didn't know what to ask. I don't know where to start.
well, I always go back to you don't know what you don't know. When I think of auctions, you have dealer to dealer auctions. Technically you have public auctions where consumers can go, but then you have auctions for like classics and collectibles. That's a whole different. And I don't think that's what you guys are talking about. You're talking about cars to put on the market. One thing that is evident is while digital and online auction features and services, evolve out of just necessity and efficiency, you still need to ship the cars. They still need to get from one place to another. That's not changing.
So that's the thing, is that, and this is what Tai is. And by the way, in a second, we're going to get to how Tai and Ryan and Jay all ties into AutoConversion and what's going on. So we're going to do that in a second. But I want to say this, Tai, listening to Tai talk about the dealers and the auctions so much really got me thinking about how dispatching and load boards that's the end of the line. So if you've built your business model from getting your customers at the swap meet, well, how did all the stuff end up at the swap meet? What happened before that? Why wouldn't? Yeah.
Just so I know, because I could get on your level here. I'm understanding that load boards almost sounds like an MLS listing. It's like a place you can go that brokers and dealers and other entities are loading in. I need this shipped. I need that shipped. So you as a hauler can go there. Where's the dispatcher? Is that a third party entity?
Oh, well,
I don't know
that's a whole nother show. And I'll tell you what, we will get into that another time. I promise. But I know time is running out of the sand, the hourglass, and so we need to explain what is going on here. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come back to this once we let Tai go. So check this out, Tai. What are we doing? Man, I got a lot of windows open, like you said. What are we doing, Tai? Where do I go here? Here, let's go to Auto Transport Intel. Let's go to Auto Transport Intel on AutoConversion.net. You have to show me how to use this site.
I'm going to walk you through this.
Let's go to June. Where is CTS coaching? What's happening June 1st, guys?
All right, which is next week. We're going to introduce the new Cars on the Move webinar, and it's going to be for premium members. Okay, this is an exclusive group, and the whole idea is we're going to merge. We're going to start off bringing the auto retail and the car shipping business together in one place. Now, Tai, you're going to kind of lead this, all right? But it's going to be the three of us. You're going to kind of lead this. But the whole idea of Cars on the Move, the webinar, is that it needs to focus on the people that are there. Why are they there? What do they need? Right? Because right here, you've got people on YouTube that have businesses. They're all in different places. And so the whole idea is we can start to focus on those that are tuned in right here. That's
I was going to say, if you're still here, if you've if you're 2 hours into this show and you're still here,
You need
you
this.
are the perfect person for this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So here's what I want people to do. Click on AT Insider. Start there. Let's go to AT Insider.
Okay.
Folks, if you're here right now, like Jay said, if you're still here, just go up here and sign up. Okay, that'll give Jay and myself the ability to transmit information to you. And the Cars on the Move webinar is going to be a separate registration. It's going to be premium, but for June 1st, don't worry about that. For June 1st, just get there. Just get there and let us know that you want to get into that you want this resource. So sign up as an AT Insider just to get started.
And you know what's cool is that if you are here right now and you go get signed up, this is the core. I mean, this is the beginning of the next level. Yeah, I mean, because the point of being an ATI Insider and joining us because you're going to join us for June 1, right?
Yeah.
And this is June 1st is a Monday night. It's going to be at 7 o'clock, a 1-hour CTS business coaching discussion. I know we've already got a couple talking points. And if you've got something you want to ask Tai, send him an email, tai@ctsbusinesscoaching.com. You can call Tai. Call Tai. 417-483-2764. Thanks and have a great day.
Dude, you know a guy from Africa called me today?
I know.
From your show?
I know. Tiwanakshan Nkube?
He wants to come to, he wanted to go to Canada. I think I talked him into coming to America.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, that was good. Sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
Michael Culler says, I signed up. How much will the premium be?
So Michael, the program we're launching is going to run at $95 a month. But for right now, just get signed up, and so you can get it, so that we can build on that. We're building a program. We're merging 2 programs, just so you know. We have an auto retail.
Be really good too.
We have an auto retail mastermind program that we run now on AutoConversion. What we're going to do is bring ATI into that, and then as we get to know that member base, because it's member focused, as we get to know that member base, we'll build around the that car shipping member base.
Where auto retail meets car shipping. Oh, I wrote retails. Dang it. Oh, that's how you know we're live. Okay, so that's the ATI stuff. So we're going to start there before we let Tai go, because I know we're once we hit 10 o'clock, then we're into late night. Is there anything else, Ryan, that we should click on while we're here with Tai? I think that's it. That's it, right? I mean,
it's really simple.
Yeah.
It's really simple. We have the coaching program,
okay,
which is multifaceted. There's the monthly webinar that we just talked about, Cars on the Move.
Yeah.
You also have access to Tai. Tai's going to provide pretty much like a one-on-one type of access to Tai. So we're going to build this around. It's about supply and demand. We're going to build it around what people need. We're listeners. We're here. Tai knows how to make you money in the car shipping business. I know how to work the tech stack, how to work the marketing. And Jay, you know how to work an audience and the people and what they need. And we're all coming together to make this possible.
Ooh, great question from Gary. If I miss the June 1st show, will there be a recording?
No.
Oh, man.
Not recorded.
Harsh.
Because it is about the community. It's real time. It just is.
That was good, Jay. Ooh,
and you know, and here's the thing is, what's interesting is that most stuff is recorded, and it's an interesting. I think that's the right decision, Ryan. And I know it is. It's tough. I know.
No, it's good. And here's why. Now, let me explain something.
Because the recording just won't be the same.
I've done enough coachings now through Jay's show, people that need help, that want help. I've done enough of these that I can tell you, and I've got a lot of these recorded, right?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, here's the thing. There is no script for what I talk about. There's no script. There's your fundamentals, right? 1, are you afraid of people? 2, do you have some cash saved? Because you're going to need it, right? Beyond that, I mean, I've coached guys that at the end of the hour, go ahead.
No, keep going. I was almost, while I was pulling out, I made you send me some stuff, and you got, the mic, 5 types of car lots. You do have some stuff that you always talk about. There is some.
Yeah, well, it's real basic, and the beautiful part about what I talk about is if I don't know about it, I'll let you know I don't know about it. But I've talked to guys that are like, they want to get into hauling cars. Well, it turns out they know everybody in the tow truck business. You don't need to be in the car hauling business. You need to be in the tow truck business. I got some background in tow trucks too. But anyway, the point is there's nothing about what I talk about that's just here's the script. We don't do that.
That and you can't get consultation if you're not there. Like there's no way to do it. A recording is not going to do that for you, because the whole idea is, Tai, here's my situation, here's what I'm thinking, here's my resources, here's what I have to work with, right? Yeah. Like you can't get that from a recording. So the whole idea is that, look, we have a show for this purpose so that we can there is some interactivity there, but it's not necessarily applicable. The coaching session is where it's going to get applicable, and it's going to get more one-on-one. So the key is
couple questions.
Just get on the inside for starters.
And you're right. So get right. So sign up, because will there be reminders sent out, Ryan?
Yes.
Exactly.
I will flood you with information.
Ryan is and that's just where AutoConversion is going to help ATI and CTS get to the level we need to be at for reminders, for marketing, for web presence. This is one of the benefits of this collaboration.
And just to emphasize, we have a whole auto retail community and program that's been running for 1.5 years, right? So we're bringing car shipping into that, and dealers need that. The retail business need that.
That's where I get excited right there.
7 p.m. Central Time, correct?
7 p.m. Central
on
Monday.
June 1st, Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And that's like what you were just saying, Ryan. One of the reasons I'm excited that we didn't try this a couple of years ago, that we're here now, is that with everything changing and all the shows that I've already done, the shows you've done, the amount of coaching Tai has done, we're at the right intersection. I actually can't think of many entities that are ripe to do what we're about to do.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Good relationships, and that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Ryan, you're the man. I appreciate you. I'm going to let you guys go.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Tai. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Thanks, Jay.
See you, Coach.
And
put me in, Coach.
Good night, Coach. Yeah.
You know, coaching's a tough thing. Like I've, we all need resources and mentorship and perspectives, and I mean, we all need that, right? And the idea of hiring someone to be a coach is, it's a stretch. It's a stretch, but
it is.
When you bring, so I think what we're doing is different. We're bringing, this is true masterminding. You have a show. We have these auto retail programs. You have your different programs. We have a monthly webinar. And also, folks, when you sign up as an insider, you're going to get an invite to set up a member profile in Slack, which is the member network. We're going to add you to the Auto Transport Intel channel, and that will allow you to have access, I call asynchronous access. It's just chat access to others in the community, including myself and Tai. So that should make it efficient for everybody.
I just put automotive disruption up on the screen. I was thinking this when I put that title together, is that there are so many things changing so fast that 6 months ago, automotive disruption was like, I've got a new software or app or something to streamline this process digitally. Now automotive disruption is the point at how many companies are going to either fail, have to restructure, have to partner. It's crazy. There, and I was telling Tai, so Automotive Logistics, which is another organization in automotive, their webinar series right now, they've branded it Festival of Transformation.
Festival?
I'm so glad you said that. Because when I first heard it, I thought, what? Festival of Transformation? Right?
It's like celebration.
Celebration of transformation. And as I thought about it more, this is where a lot of people are with this level of change. You don't have a choice but to try to embrace it. You almost, what are the 5 stages of grief, right? Mm-hmm. Like
denial,
right?
I don't even know them all, but
yeah,
we're
I know all going through 5 stages of grief,
sorrow,
and then avoidance,
anger.
And then you end up with acceptance.
I think I've gone through anger. I was pretty angry for about a month.
Yeah, we've all lost deals. Every single one of us.
Everything has changed.
Has lost a deal recently. And so once you go through all that loss, you go to the next stage of grief. So they just jumped right. Festival of Transformation.
Celebrate. Who is this?
Automotive Logistics. Okay. This is a major automotive shipping organization, maybe the biggest global car shipping organization based out of London. I think it's a gutsy move, but I mean, it's a move. They're not just, sitting in the train station watching all the trains go by. They're, jumping in with a brand.
A month ago, every time we got on the air, it was like we were trying to understand what the hell was going on, right? All the updates and the data. I was looking at the data every day, just trying to study it and understand it. To the point where now I don't even look at the data anymore because it's almost become irrelevant. It's almost become irrelevant now. What's become relevant is how we're going to pick up where we left off. There's some silver linings in all that's happened over the past couple of months. There's some silver linings, right?
Yeah.
But I think back to your point is we're all.
Yeah.
I guess
I'm like, yeah.
There are. I mean,
right.
If you can find them.
Well, that's the thing. You got to really search for them. And this is actually what you just said is why. So state of car hauling was my immediate reaction to, okay, let's hold on to I'm going to grab podium and I'm going to get the microphone and we're going to say something. And so state of car hauling, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, oh my God, updates. And just as we're not watching the data constantly, I just took out Wednesday. So now it's Monday, Friday updates. And I think pretty soon I'm going to pull one of those days. It's like pulling Jenga pieces, right? And we're going to be left with a weekly state of car hauling update. And when the time is right, we're going to change that show altogether and move into this next level of, okay, now we know the data has happened, and we are, but when I hear Festival of Transformation, I'm like, wow, that is a future. I feel like I've been being visited by somebody from the future.
Really? In a positive way?
I'm not sure. It's really strange, isn't it?
You know,
timing is everything, isn't it?
It is. you know, I use Snapchat, and NBC has a program called Stay Tuned. And every day it's like a 5-minute, you know, series of flashes. The whole essence, the whole like vibe of this is there's this pandemic, but it's all going to end someday, and we're all in this together, and we're here to help you get through it. And I'm just like, I just want to like, I'm like, it's not real. It is not real like that. There are real problems that are going to be long lasting through all this. Yes, there are some new things there are some companies, yes. You and myself are part of that. We're pivoting and adapting to try to work through this, right? Because we're out of survival. It's out of survival. Hertz, what are they doing to survive? Bankruptcy protection, right? You've got major companies getting millions and millions of dollars to keep them afloat. You've got local cities and ordinances and states that are now have to be propped up by federal tax dollars, which means we have to print money. Like, I hate thinking about the problems that are so that we can only speculate and where they're going to go. Used cars. You've got, like you said, arenas and stadium parking lots filled with cars. Like, what is going to happen over the next 12 months?
What's interesting, you say that too, and this is why, hey, before I forget, I want to share, listen, I know many of you're still here. We're going to let you go here in a few minutes, I promise. You know me, I like to make a long show. But I also like to quit while I'm ahead. As if I've ever done that. But, Ryan, how do I get to the show graphic for tomorrow? So I go to AutoConversion.net. What do I go? Go to MTC?
Where are you now? Hold on, my screen just went away.
I think so. I'm
jumping
ahead, right?
All right?
Yes.
All right, so just click on home.
Yep, let's click on home.
So every Wednesday, we do the Mobility, Tech, and Connectivity show. Go ahead and click that post right there.
Click on that.
Yep, if it lets you. And we put a post together. So there's the countdown, 15 hours. So we still got time to get a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
And by the way, Matt, I saw you on the live chat. And anybody, when you're on AutoConversion, which would include the new ATI site, and you see that little chat dialogue with my name popping up there, you can just chat with me anytime. I mean, I'll respond as soon as I can. I'm not guaranteeing that I can respond immediately. But this is the program for tomorrow. Go ahead and scroll down a little bit, Jay.
Yeah.
This is the program for tomorrow. And here's the deal. Hertz filing for bankruptcy, like, that's news. What does it mean? Well, who knows? And it doesn't really matter. It's just factual. It's just fact. Vroom is filing for an IPO. Vroom itself is losing tens of $millions a quarter right now, right? So these are news items. But you know what really matters? You know what I think really matters in all of this is the censorship that we're seeing.
Oh, man.
When we're see Twitter deletes video, go to the last one. Twitter deletes video by conservative blogger Michelle Malkin. Like, this is what really matters. Because while we have the federal government propping up states and cities, we have big tech deleting content because of political differences. To me, that's what matters.
I'm glad you said that. I really like the 2-minute drill down show that we're doing. I highly recommend, if you're liking this, please join us tomorrow, because the 2-minute drill down is different from any other show that I make. I mean, it's your show, and I'm a co-host on your show, on your platform. This is part of the collaboration. This is how we know that we're on to something here. And then with the third leg, with bringing in Tai with the CTS business coaching, man, I'm really excited about what we're embarking on. And I think you're right. I mean, even though Auto Transport Intel is the car shipping business channel, and so I steer us back into car shipping business.
Right. What's that denominator?
Right. That's right. But what you just said about censorship, can't wait to pick up that conversation with you tomorrow, because you know how I get. And guys, if you don't know how I get, when we go off script with something about like censorship or political correctness run amok, join us tomorrow and you're going to find out how I get. Yeah.
I've enjoyed watching you get, because you don't get politics into your show.
I don't.
But the My Wednesday show, there's a little bit of space there to get into politics a little bit.
I drop a few breadcrumbs in industry news, but I don't weigh in.
You don't.
No, I don't weigh. It would almost be like, you know, politically incorrect with Tom Brokaw. Like, let's find out what Tom really thinks.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. But tomorrow's a good place to do that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, exactly. So join us, Ron. I think you'll enjoy it. And by the way, Ron says this. I want to say this. No way. Ron at Traffic Inc. He's been on the show. Great friend of the show. Part of the core. Thank you, Ron. No way this industry will pick up where we left off. That ball has to get rolling again. We won't see constant numbers till next spring. 3 years from now, we will really pay for these few months. I want to say this is that I had read if there is another stimulus, which I think there's going to be, what they're saying is it's not going to be the free money we just had. It's going to, the strings attached will be, you'll have to prove that you're kind of retraining or on a different path towards something that has a viable revenue source. And I mean, I don't know who makes those decisions, but it's not just another round of 1,200 plus. And I mean, because the thing is, when Ron, when we rack up all this debt, like Hertz racked up 17 billion, and we thought they were still a profitable company, which they were, but with all that debt, what is going to happen to the United States when the bill is 100 gazillion? I mean, all this debt we're racking up now on top of the debt we already have, I don't even know how to weigh in on that, actually. I have no idea.
Nope. That's why you got to, I mean, my mantra is stay informed, stay objective, and be in the know, but focus on what you need to focus on. And like for you and your audience, it's focusing on how to grow that car hauling business. For you and me, it's focusing on how to captivate and engage an audience and monetize that, right? And build value. And that's why we're bringing these programs in, because we want to bring extra value, but we got to keep the lights on at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to focus on what you have to focus on.
Right? Because otherwise, yeah, you can spin out of control if you...
Yeah.
And that's
you put a lot of energy into something that gets you nowhere.
And I'll tell you what, Ty will send me links to like conspiracy stuff to check out, and I take it in small bites. You know? Because hey, Ron said people will start hoarding. I've been watching Hoarders on Netflix, and I can only take so much. Because the lady, oh no, I'm not going to get into her house was trashed. Trashed, I tell you. And
bring me the Hoarders. I'll sell them all my stuff. I just can't get rid of it.
Oh my gosh. Canada is so pro shutdown for as long as it takes. Wow, that's interesting too. And it is good to see. I like that. That's why I share the stuff about reopening America, because everybody knows, pretty much everybody knows, we need to get back to business or something, right? Isn't it interesting that the hair salons are leading the charge? Who'd have thought?
Right? You think it'd be the dealers?
Cut that hair! Oh, it's great, man.
I'm in Illinois. And yes. I will tell you, that the people are I'm an hour outside of Chicago, Naperville, Illinois, nice little suburb of Chicago, 150,000 people, right next to Aura. And while people are out and moving about, the majority of people I see literally walking on sidewalks are wearing masks, in their car wearing masks. My town, my city, as far as I can tell, is afraid they're going to get COVID from breathing fresh air.
So, you know, it's interesting.
It's bad.
Okay. If I was in Hong Kong, I would wear a mask because there's people everywhere. If I was in Chicago and there was a lot of people around me, I would wear a mask. What I don't understand is the news reporter, and there's nobody around. wearing a mask, they're sending a signal to you to wear a mask.
That's what I mean. If you're walking outside, wearing a mask by yourself, you are misguided. Unfortunately, you're misguided.
I went for a walk. I did
You're
not
living in
wear a
fear.
mask, but I have seen other people walking wearing a mask, and I'm thinking you've seen too many reporters wearing a mask.
Right. And I would hate to be living in a mindset that, oh my God, I might get this disease and die by walking out on the sidewalk.
And what I'm assuming is that people are getting into these arguments a lot. And that's what makes it so interesting that our president, he does not wear a mask on TV because he doesn't want people to get that message. But he's surrounded by people wearing a mask. I don't think the press secretary wears a mask. It is getting, this whole thing is getting kind of strange.
It is. And I just noticed Michael's comment. Michael, you're funny. He says, wife and 3 kids and myself all had COVID. Wife almost died, and we want the damn country to reopen.
Well, and in Georgia,
thanks for sharing that, Michael. That's
and thanks for pointing that out, Ryan. You know, that's why I talked about Georgia. Georgia's one of those states where I think a lot of people are like, what's going to happen in Georgia? Now, Alabama and Florida have different regional issues, and that's another thing. This is a regional problem.
I put all my stakes on this. Nothing's going to happen, except the media is going to apply more pressure because it's all about a power grab. Remember, I told you about my friend who has diabetes, like since she was in her 20s, and she's in the medical profession. She told me the other day, she said she hopes that she gets COVID before fall comes, because when it spikes back up in the fall, there's going to be fewer ICU beds, and she just wants to make sure that she's got an ICU bed when she gets it, because she's a high risk. She is at high risk of being severely ill from COVID. She wants to get it before fall.
That's very interesting.
That says a lot.
Yeah, no, that's it. Now, and see, that's like a scientific way to think, rather than just the reporter in the mask.
Right.
It actually really worries me when I see somebody completely alone wearing a mask. It does concern me.
Yeah. I walked out of my apartment complex just the other day. There were 4 adults, all in the street, like sidewalk. They all had masks on. In the middle of the day, it was warm and sunny. They're about 10 feet apart, and they're just having a conversation.
But see, check this out. Ron, here's the thing. As soon as you have a point, here's a counterpoint. Ron says, I lost my mom to COVID. That right there, that's rough, dude. I'm sorry, Ron.
I'm sorry, Ron. And I'd be interested in knowing more details about your mother, right? Like,
and he said he got it taken care of her, and I don't recommend anyone getting it. And that's the thing too. That's why I'm not completely laissez-faire about the whole thing. In that,
right.
If, like I said, if I was around a lot of people, yeah. Like if I was going to ride a subway, yeah, I'd put the gloves on and the mask on. And I'll say this. I'm going to end it this way. Totally, yeah, Exotic says totally sidetracked. That's because I'm here with Ryan. Guys, if you like this kind of content, you've got to join us tomorrow. Go to AutoConversion.net. And so just go to AutoConversion.net. What do? Click home?
Look under shows. Look for
shows. It's
Mobility Tech Connectivity Show.
Mobility Tech and Connectivity Show. I'm the co-host. We go live every Wednesday. It's Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Central.
Yeah, and just for the record, my shows and everything I do was so laser focused until this guy started showing up, and then it just all went out.
Right, now he's so now your shows are longer. Exactly.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
And me, I'm coming more out of the, I'm getting more sidetracked. People know that I almost never get off the car shipping business track. So, but it feels good to do that show. And
let me just add something. I see like Ken talking to Mike. Just so you guys know, when you sign up as an ATI insider, you're going to get an invite to join our Slack member network, and you'll be added to the Auto Transport Intel channel, and that'll allow everybody here to chat, just like you're doing now on YouTube, to chat when the show's not on.
Wow, that thank you. So Ryan is helping grow the community offline and in the way that it should be, and that's with the CTS business coaching. We're going to do CTS every month, by the way. You're not just joining for June 1st. We're going to do like probably the first Monday of every month, something like that. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But well, listen, guys, I want to thank everybody for sticking around. It's now it's 10:30, so we're at 2.5 hours. This is Automotive Late Night with Auto Transport Intel. Ryan, thanks so much for your contribution.
Thank you.
And I'm going to say goodnight to you, man. I'm going to end this Zoom meeting, and we're going to land
Sayonara.
this ship. Peace out, brother.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, man.
Bye.
Bye. And I end the meeting, and we go to end of show, and we minimize that. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, man. Thank you guys so much for hanging around so long. I do like to, I like to cover the business, and then I know it's fun. It's, that's part of the community feel, is to, start to, dig around in the corners and see what other information there is to find. And sometimes distill down to the truth is that, it's not the rosiest picture right now, is it? I mean, clearly not. And I know, sometimes I just like truth, like straight up truth, setting aside any business prospects. And so I think that's why I enjoy doing the show with Ryan, because, man, we just get into some of the truth and, objective viewpoints of what's going on. So I want to thank you guys for sticking around. Please do join us tomorrow on AutoConverse. It's the AutoConverse podcast on AutoConversion.net. Make sure you sign up as an ATI insider. And pretty soon, right now, if you go to AutoTransportIntel.com, it's still the old site. Going to get that forwarded. It's a work in progress, but we'll get that all set up. So for right now, I'm just going to post it here again. You want to go to AutoConversion.net, and you'll find my site, my updated site, at AutoConversion.net/AutoTransportIntel. If you have a question, company, product, or service that you want to promote, man, I got some good shows coming up. I don't have all the dates locked in and information, but I do have some great shows coming up in June. We do have locked in for Tuesday is the COVID testing show. You want to know more about what's going on with COVID testing? We're talking about for drivers, truckers, transporters, businesses. This is general freight and auto shipping. We're going to be with Impact Employee Solutions. You can go to impactemployee.com. Sign up for the webinar. They have a webinar on Thursday. And then the show, they're going to be live on the show on Tuesday. So if you want to know more about what's happening with COVID testing and transport business, perfect time to get more education on that. I'll be live with Ryan every Wednesday at 2. We still have State of Car Hauling Mondays and Fridays. We've got dispatching live again next Thursday at noon. If you have a question, if you need help with something, send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Otherwise, it's time for me to run the car hauler. Bid farewell. Safe travels. Do stay safe out there. And keep me posted. If you see something or hear something that we need to share with the audience, let me know. I really appreciate you guys. I look forward to seeing you again next Tuesday night. Episode 140, COVID testing. Y'all stay safe, and I will see you soon.